Welterweight Championship. We will be coming back to the Wembley Conference Center, hopefully for interviews with both of the two combatants. We'll also be going back to San Diego for more indoor track and field when Wide World of Sports continues right after these upcoming messages. There again, Lloyd Honeyghan. At the Wembley Conference Center, where Lloyd Honeyghan has retained his welterweight championship. Alex Wallow's with him right now. Alex.
Lloyd, there were people who said when you beat Donald Curry that he was dead at the weight. People here are going to say that Johnny Bumphus was in no condition to be in the ring. Do you think that you satisfy critics with a performance like this?
Man, I satisfy everybody because they've all been saying Lloyd Honeyghan was a fluke with Donald Curry. I want to show the people I'm for real. I'm for real, man.
I said on the air when you came across the ring that you were winning the fight so easily that that was unnecessary, that you should have just stayed and come out when the referee... I know the bell rang. The bell definitely rang.
The bell, I heard the
We're going
bell.
to look at it right now. The bell did ring. We're going to watch it right here, Lloyd. You're not going to be able to hear it, unfortunately.
Well, I can't
Mickey
comment.
Duff is the manager of Lloyd Honeyghan, whose voice you also hear here. Lou Duva is definitely late getting out of the ring. And the referee, Sam Williams, was just staying in the corner there. Didn't come out until he saw. He was just stayed in the corner.
He didn't hear the bell. I did. I heard it. I heard it. I thought he was taking his time to come out of the ring. He was taking his time to come out of the ring. And his manager was distracted by coming out. He was looking. He was too slow. And I saw it. And I took my advantage of the situation.
Where do you go from here, Lloyd? Who do you want next? Mark Breland was at ringside.
Anybody. Mark Breland know how I feel. After I beat Donald Curry and I came out the ring, I was in my changing room. And I came out. I saw Mark Breland standing outside my changing room. I went straight up to him and I said to him, Mark, maybe you can rumble one day. And I still mean that because I didn't give up my WBA title for not apartheid reason or anything like that. I gave it up for my own reason, you know, because I didn't want to fight in South Africa or anything like that. And it's up to Mark Breland if he wants to fight a South African.
If he fought Breland now, he would lose his WBC title. The WBC have Breland automatically suspended for 2 years.
We've tried to explain all that at the top. It's difficult to keep track. Lloyd, in your wildest dreams, did you think it would be that easy?
I tell you, I was prepared for this fight. This is the best condition I was in my life. I was better than when I was for Donald Curry because I've got two dogs now, two Staffordshire Bull Terriers. And when I went at it for the second time, I felt like my two dogs. And I felt so strong, and I just wanted to kill him. I wanted to eat him.
Thanks very much. Let's go back to Jim Lampley at ringside.
Thank you, Alex. Last night, we suggested to Mickey Duff, Lloyd's manager, that one of his advantages as a boxer is that he carries a rather large chip on his shoulder. Mickey responded by saying it's a whole London block, and it helps him a great deal. I think you can see the kind of tough aggressiveness that Lloyd brings to every situation in life. Meanwhile, Johnny Bumphus and Lou Duva now standing by with Alex Wallow for their side of the story. Alex?
Johnny, I know you're terribly disappointed. What happened to you in the first round? You just didn't seem to be able to get off at all.
Well, in the first round, I think I started a little slow. I tried to get a good sweat going in the locker room, but unfortunately, I was unable to. I felt good though. I mean, I got knocked down, but I got up. My legs were strong. My sense was with me. I knew what I was doing. It was just a matter of me getting the cobwebs out because I've been down several times, and every time, all but once, I came back to win or even knock my opponent out.
What is your reaction to the incident at the start of the second round, Johnny?
That should be disqualification. The bell didn't even ring. I wasn't off the stool yet. I didn't even see the guy coming. I got hit, and the next thing I knew, I was on Queer Street.
Lou Duva is standing here with you also. Lou, the way it looked to me was that the referee, that there was a seconds out, that you were a little bit late getting out of the ring. The bell, when we heard it on the tape, we'll be looking at the tape right here, but on the tape, the bell does ring before he hits Johnny.
I understand, but he was right in the corner at that same time, Al.
He was about halfway across the ring moving.
I put his mouthpiece in, I'm stepping on his seconds out, I'm stepping out of the ring, and I'm putting it in, and the guy was right on top of him before he even got up.
Is it fair to say, Lou, that you were taking every second you could to try to revive your fighter?
Absolutely, absolutely. We still had the time to go over there until I hear that bell go. As I'm stepping out, that's when I heard the bell. But I'm putting his mouthpiece in, and he's right there. And had I seen it, understand? I just saw a blur come over. Had I seen it, I would have stopped him. But how the hell no? My back's to the guy. But Johnny was just starting to get up, and that's when he got hit.
In my opinion, Lou, that the blows that Honeyghan struck there did not change the outcome of the fight based upon...
You don't know.
This is my opinion,
Al,
but I'm just saying.
You don't know at this point.
What is your opinion?
And my opinion is Johnny's done this before. He's got hurt at the beginning before and come back and knock the guy out. So what's the difference? We just had to go. We're talking about 15 rounds we're talking about right now. He may have let it all hang out, but we had a calculated plan for Johnny. So in other words, we wanted him to get out there and get this over with in a couple of rounds, and then we were going to turn him on. But what the hell was you going to do with the guy?
Will you protest the decision?
Absolutely, I'm protesting the decision.
Johnny, will this be your last fight, or will you go on from here?
Well, if the protest is good, I'm going on. This is only the second loss in 31 professional fights. I don't think I'll retire, but I am contemplating it.
Lou, you said before this fight that if he didn't win it, you would retire him.
I would, and absolutely, that's my feeling. Johnny's more than a fighter to me. Johnny's my friend. I wouldn't want to get Johnny hurt, but in the flagrant disqualification on something like this here, we got to get a determination first before we make a decision. I'm protesting the thing. I think the guy was wrong. I think the referee knows it was wrong. I think the IBF and I think the British Commission knows it's wrong. Now what's going to happen? I don't know, but I'm going to fight like hell to get it straightened out.
Thank you, Lou. Back to Jim.
All right, Alex, and we are going to go away just briefly now, but when we come back, we'll have a conversation with the single most interested observer in the entire arena, WBA World Welterweight Champion Mark Freeland, who sits beside me now, and he'll be sharing his impressions of what just happened here right after this. Bolbrecht of South Africa, and suffered in that fight a broken hand in the second round, but went on to win it anyway. Mark, you're in a curious position, friends with Johnny Bumphus, and yet the potential beneficiary of a huge money fight somewhere down the road if Honeyghan holds on to his title. First of all, your impression of what happened here.
Well, today, despite the loss, it seemed like Johnny's legs were pretty weak for some reason. Lloyd, I really thought nothing of him. He went out throwing wild punches. He was wide open throughout the whole fight. He throws lazy punches at times until he gets you in a position where he could throw wild punches. But I really thought nothing of him tonight. Even though he went, 2 rounds, I thought nothing of him.
Under the rules of the governing bodies as they now exist, you may be restricted, or Honeyghan rather, may be restricted from fighting against you for up to 2 years. Do you expect it to be that long before you would meet him if all goes well for both of you?
No, because then the welterweight division might get pretty boring after a while, and I think things would decide from that point of view.
And can I guess, after what you just said about his performance here, that you'd like to get him as soon as possible?
All right, as soon as this gets together, I would love to fight him.
Where is it your impression that Johnny was wronged by what happened at the start of the second round, or were Johnny and Lou simply late in responding to the bell?
I tell you the truth, I didn't hear the bell at all either, and the referee turned his back and just let him go. I thought, I didn't hear the bell at all. They said seconds out, and the guy was already over in the corner before the referee even turned around.
All right, Mark, we appreciate you spending time with us and wish you well on the recovery of that left hand. Right now, for more on the second round controversy, Alex Wallow is standing by in the ring with referee Sam Williams.
Sam, it appeared to me that at the start of the second round, when Honeyghan charged out of his corner, you were still back in the neutral corner. Should you have been closer to push Honeyghan back into his corner to keep him from charging out?
It's correct that I was back in the neutral round. I was waiting to get the signal for seconds out, which comes from the BBC. I never heard it. When I looked up, I was being talked to by one of the cameramen to get out of the way. When I looked up, he was charged in the corner. That's when I charged out.
Okay, Sam, we're going to play the tape right now. You won't be able to hear it. We're going to play the tape and just listen to see when the bell rang.
We'll be able to hear the ring.
Sam, the bell clearly rang before the punch, but also Honeyghan was more than halfway across the ring at that point and charging.
That's correct. That's why I took the point from him, for being over in the corner before the seconds out was given.
Did you ever consider disqualifying him, Sam?
Not seriously, no.
Thank you very much. Walter Stone is the IBF, International Boxing Federation representative and supervisor of this fight. Has anybody informally lodged a protest or with you yet, Walter?
Yes, the Duva camp has already lodged a protest verbally. I told them to put it in writing. There are 3 situations that arise here. Number 1, whether Honeyghan was at least across the marginal 50% line when he charged him. That's clear. I thought the referee was totally correct in taking away a point for that. The second point that the Duva people have raised is that the blow was so severe that Bumphus never had a chance to recover. Now, that's a discretionary issue that the IBF have to decide, and whether or not they set aside the decision or whatever else. And then there's a third decision. Even if that is true, the referee may have decided in his own judgment that Honeyghan so outclassed him in terms of his ability that it was so one-sided he needed to stop it. So you can't necessarily say that that one blow in and of itself was the reason for stopping the fight.
Thank you very much, Walter. Back to Jim Lampley.
Certainly that last conclusion would appear to be valid regardless of what other judgments are to be made here. Honeyghan completely outclassed Johnny Bumphus from the very beginning of the fight. So that wraps up the story here from the Wembley Conference Center in London. And now let's take you back stateside for more on ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Thank you, Jim. Frank Gifford along with Becky Dixon. And Mark Breland told me about 2 weeks ago when we interviewed him live here, he couldn't wait to take on Lloyd Honeyghan. I wonder how he feels now about it. Lloyd Honeyghan really looked tough out there.
May have some second thoughts, Frank.
I think he might. How'd you like his outfit?
Well, I was going to ask him what the fashion critics thought of those sequin trunks. Alex asked him about the boxing critics, whether or not he thought that this fight had satisfied them. We've got to talk to the fashion critics now.